Hi guys, Scott Woodward to preview the Gold Coast Titans for 2015. And look, not a lot hasn't been said about the Gold Coast Titans in the last few weeks. That is good. So let's just concentrate on some of the positive aspects of 2015, and I think there are a few. Look, clearly they look like they may very well lose four of their potential starting forwards, both Fallon, Greg Bird, Dave Taylor and also Paul Carter. Paul Carter, definitely, he's been sacked by the club. They're four guys that I thought would have been in the top 13 probably a few months ago. Certainly three of those four would have been. And so you might think that that is a strip out for any club, and it certainly is a kick in the guts. But there is a little bit of depth. They did recruit quite well in the off-season, and what it's going to do, it's going to create a lot more emphasis on a couple of forwards who may not have got such long minutes, and they are now going to be forced to play extra long minutes. And I have a huge rap on those players, so it may very well be the making of them. The guys I'm talking about are Matt Robertson, who they got from the Penrith Panthers. I think he's an outstanding left edge player, and also I understand his mate on the right side is going to be Ryan James. Now, a lot of people may consider Ryan James a prop, but I understand that Henry, the coach, wants to play him on the right side, running on the edge instead of in the middle as a prop. And look, I'm not bagging what he's doing because he is a very, very hard runner, and he's got deceptive speed, and he can bust tackles, and he can certainly do something with the ball. So, look, I'm keen to see how it works out. Obviously, Nate Miles at lock forward is their rock of Gibraltar. If they lose him, they are in big trouble. He needs to keep this young pack together. And speaking of the forwards, look, I think David Haller and probably Luke Douglas will do the hard work up front as they start, and they go okay. They're not world beaters, but they go okay. They've got some very exciting young hookers. They've lost Beau Fallon, but we all know how good Matt Srama is, and he's a very clever guy with the ball and can put in good minutes. Their big off-season buy, Kieran Mosley, is one of the young guns that they've got also from the Penrith Panthers, and he's brilliant with the ball, can also play long minutes. And while he makes a lot of tackles, he can miss a tackle. He has got some quirks in his defence that needs to get ironed out, and I'm sure Henry will do that with him as he gets more first-grade experience. But, we're talking about some very promising players here that probably weren't going to get such long minutes as what we thought they were going to get maybe around Christmas time. And I'm not prepared to say that'll be a bad thing. So, like most pundits have got the Gold Coast Titans finishing with the wooden spoon, I certainly don't think that. I think that they've got enough promise in their side. But one thing the coach needs to do, he needs to get the halfback right. At the moment, Dan Mortimer will probably get the starting job with the 7 jersey, the all-important 7 jersey. And while he looks an outstanding person, a guy that you'd be very happy to date your sister, he wouldn't be my starting halfback in an NRL first-grade team. And I think at some stage that there's no doubt that Kane, Elgey, and also Christian Hazard will be the two guys to come in consideration. Both guys have got very impressive resumes in the lower grades, and they're ready for first grade now. And I think you'll be hearing a lot of both of them. So I don't know when that will happen, but I certainly expect it to happen at some stage. The most important player in this side, apart from Nate Miles, is clearly Aidan Caesar. He's the brains of the side. He makes things happen on the outside. He's got the tactical kicking game, and he's also the goal kicker. He's the most underrated half in the NRL, in my opinion, and it's very important that the Gold Coast Titans are able to hang on to him and secure his future on the Gold Coast. One of the dilemmas that the coach has got, and he has got quite a few, let me say, is who he's going to play fullback. Look, he'll probably go with Josh Hoffman over Will Zillman. I wouldn't go for either of them. I have no doubt in my mind that David Mead is the best number 1 in this club, and he looks like he's going to be parked out on the wing again. But I would go for David Mead. I don't think Josh Hoffman is a fullback. I think he'll do a fair enough job. His stats are okay for a fullback. They go okay. I think he's an out-and-out left winger. I think he's a wonderful finisher of the ball, and I don't really like him playing centre, which if he doesn't play fullback, he'll probably play centre. I don't think his defence is good enough to play centre, and I certainly think that is the same with Will Zillman. He'll probably be in the centres if Josh Hoffman is the fullback. Now, If Will Zimmerman can't play fullback, he would struggle to make the starting 13 in my side. As a matter of fact, I'd struggle to have him on the bench because he's either a fullback or he's going to probably play on the wing. And I don't know if I would have him in front of David Meaden and Kevin Gordon or even James Roberts for that instance. So, look, the problem in this Gold Coast side is defence in the back line. I look at the guys who look like they're going to be playing in the back line, and there aren't too many what I call solid defenders in that side. But I think their forward pack can do something, and I think they've got some handy guys that have come off the bench. I've got a good opinion of young Lachlan Burr. He's come up from the Bulldogs. Ryan Simpkins is an absolute workaholic, and I think he'll be getting a lot of game time. I'm looking forward to seeing he goes. And I've heard some very good things about Davin Crampton and also Aggie Passe. I've seen a fair bit of both those on video, and I like what I see. And they're also going to probably get more time now than what we thought they're going to be. Now, look, I'm saying that not knowing what really is going to happen with Greg Bird and Dave Taylor in particular. They're both very important to this Gold Coast side, and would like to think that everyone will get resolved and we can get on and play football. But I'm doing this presentation with these guys not in the side at the moment because I just don't know what is going to happen, and I'm doing it a couple of days before round 1 starts. So I'm saying that if they don't get back onto the field, I still think the Gold Coast Titans, while I don't think they'll play semi-final football, I certainly don't think they'll be wooden spooners. And I can see that there's some really promising young kids in this side that will give the Gold Coast Titans a future in years to come. So if you are a Titan supporter, I know you're doing it tough at the moment, but hang in there. I think there's a little light in the tunnel, and I hope you have a really good season. Talk to you later. Cheers.